So in this video, we're going to be mapping out your membership offer. So enjoy it. It is a short one again, and it's just going to be touching base on the journey of your members, how they come in, how they stay, how they grow and scale with you, as well as looking at how you would basically physically run it inside Wisdom. Enjoy. Welcome to our Aussie Summer series on YouTube. So this series that we're sharing over the coming weeks is just snippets from our onboarding session. And I'm breaking this up because I know this is the time of the year that we all tend to sort of look at planning our ideas, thinking about what we're doing. And I wanted to break this up so you could watch it in easy, set amounts of time rather than a whole hour, but also allowing you basically, if you're a coach, well, watch the coaching one. If you are running a membership, watch the membership one, course creator, etc., etc. And the reason I'm broken it up is so you can actually get a good indication of probably the best way to map your offer in the sense of running a business, where you house everything, where you deliver everything, how you get people to come in. The one place, the tool belt that you need to run your business. So I invite you to come along, watch these short videos and have a quick sneak peek inside how you can utilize these maps with Wisdom as well. So my name's Nikki Kelly. I am the founder of Wisdom and I hope you enjoy this series.
So the next one is community map. So this is where you're really contemplating how people are going to come into your system, how they're going to interact with each other when you're stepping in, things like that. So really thinking about what sections you're going to use of the platform. What are you going to utilize? And building a community isn't just about the interaction, with you. It could be their own self-paced interaction with your content. So think about how are they going to receive your content? What kind of content do they want to receive? Do they need hand holding, or do they need, those real interaction moments of events? Do they need those constant events? What type of community are you building? Are you building that quiet, chill flow? People just come in, check things out, come to an event, move on. Is it a kind of community that is really engaged, really trying to get to a goal within a specific time frame? Do you have phases of the moon in your community? Like, are there these kind of things happening in your community? What is the activity that you're expecting? So looking at that really allows you to understand the sections that you'll possibly use inside the system. And that could be thinking about, like I mentioned, what are the phases? What are the topics you might discuss? Events? Do you offer resources? Do you direct people? Do you bring people in? Collaborations, things like that. So really planning out, what is this community vibe going to be? What's the activity going to be? And then assigning moderators. Now, this part here might not be the first thing that you do when you're first starting out a community, right? It's just you running it. But the intention is that you'll very likely want to scale. And again, I have a video on my YouTube channel where I do talk about Dunbar's numbers. And this particular number is well known with respect to communities. As soon as you hit a threshold of about 150 people in your community, interaction will drop if it's just you. So planning ahead and setting a rhythm, as I mentioned, of having, maybe you've got 10 people, it might grow to 50 people. Well, with those 50 people, try and get maybe 2 or 3 people out of that 50 that become the common interactors, the people that really come into the system, post things, ask questions, ask other people questions, how they're going. They become almost the leaders in your community. And then as you're growing and it gets high to 50, to 100, things like that, it becomes easier to translate those people possibly and inviting them as moderators of your community. And it means it's less effort on you to try and keep intact, because think about it. We've got a group of 5 people that are our friends. We love them. We're so in their world, all that sort of stuff. And the next bit, there's 50 of them. You can't spread yourself for 50 people as much as you could with the 5. And the same thing's going to happen with 100 and 150 people. This is what's happening in your community. So thinking about assigning moderators at some point, or how you're going to utilize the people that are in your system, It's almost like you're, and I can't think of the word, but you're grooming them in a sense. Whilst they're coming to you, they're enjoying your community, they're loving you, and then you're grooming them to be, I love having you around, whatever, use that language. But this is what I mean. So moving into that regard, thinking about posting, tagging people, making people feel like they're heard, they're seen, you're recognizing them. I know when I've been in, particular groups, and if someone's tagged me for something, I'm like, oh, well, that's nice. Like that's just a nice psychological thing for people when they're like, oh, okay, I've been recognized, I've been heard. They actually saw my post. That's nice. This is the whole social psychology these days. We look at how many likes we get, we look at how many views we get, comments, things like that, right? Now we're older, we understand that, yeah, there's value in there, but there isn't, don't put all your eggs in one basket thinking that's everything, because it's not. You've got young teenagers and all the rest of it, they think that's their world. So with respect to giving that visibility, letting people know they're seen, there is an element of truth in that. People do want to be tagged. People do want to have, see posts and recognition. So drawing people in, letting them know that you're there and you're seeing them is really important. And then tying community to courses, coaching packages, things like that. And it probably answers your question a little bit, Rachel, as well. Where would you go next from, this flow? Well, community, you have your community and you're bringing people together and you're trying to let people, that peer to peer learning is a huge element in our world, right? Like it's just human nature. So when it comes to community, you could branch out and have courses that some people in that community, they just want to dive into that self-paced moment. And that's where I come in, where I was talking about a little bit earlier, and then the type of community you're creating. You're creating a community that's really active and it's really concentrating on that peer-to-peer, uplift, learning, things like that. Is it a community, and it could still be the same thing parallel to it, but is it a community that is just, they're coming in and they're supporting each other in the courses they're doing? There's courses you can do. Is it a community that you've got 100 people, you've got 150 people, and with those 150, and I mentioned in the video, you might have the first 10 that came along, they're your VIPs. Are you running programs specific to those VIPs? They could be really high ticket programs that elevating them even further based on whatever it is that you're teaching them. So think about that, like with respect to how that could flow with the growth and scale of your community. So mapping this out, very similar in a sense to the other ones, but you're setting your foundations, working out what the community is, inviting, think about how you're going to invite people through, how you're onboarding the community, especially when you've got multiples, because this is a community, you need to make sure however you're onboarding them is smooth. It's automated. You've got someone that steps in and does this. I think we're all a part of, some networks, and there's one particular network I'm pretty sure we're all a part of, but they have a, hey, welcome to the group. We're running this onboarding session of what you can expect with our community. And they run that once a month or whatever. So these are really, really important with respect to just acquisition, letting people know that, all right, you're invited. This is how the flow goes. So we know what to expect in the community. You're not going to be lost in the crowd, basically. And then activating, what's the first thing that they get? A post, welcome. We've seen that in groups, welcome to the new members. You could be asking, here's a spot of questions that you could ask us. Choose or ask us a question. Help them a little bit to get that ball rolling. Host a welcome event, like I mentioned. Encourage introductions, utilizing your current members to introduce themselves to the new members. And again, engage that ongoing rhythm, making sure that you do share what is it that happens in this community weekly, daily, monthly, whatever it is. And member spotlights, which I just noticed on there, I forgot to mention. Member spotlights is so important. It's one thing to, sort of do a post and tag people and all the rest of it, but really spotlighting their wins. I think we've seen that in a lot of communities, when you're recognized for something that you've done that's external to the community even, if it's a all women business community or something like that, it's like, this is the win that woman had in her business. Fantastic. Let's cheer her on. That kind of stuff is really important. And then growing expansion, like encourage those referrals, utilize the community that you have to scale. Think about who you talk with, who you communicate with, who you connect with in your community. You're not just the leader, you're within the group. You're within the people that you are learning with as well. Whilst you're leading the community, you're still learning from them too. So collaborate, use those moments, use those conversations to scale, to invite people to come in, talk about your membership. I know I adore one of the women that I'm in, a network with, Jules Brooke, and I will mention her name in a crowded room every single time because I, appreciate what she does. And this is me as a member in her community, an advocate. So utilize those things. Just ask your community, hey, can you mention us? Now, these are really great, and especially obviously gathering those testimonials, which is, I guess, across the board really with every map that you create.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Do remember to like and subscribe. It does help our channel, and I will be putting more and more videos out there, so I'll see you in the next one. Take care.